Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to take a look at one stock and one stock only because your time poor and only want the absolute cream of the crop that the ASX has to offer. So we're going to take a look at a trade that I've taken today on Appen Limited, stock ticker APX. Going to take a look at what I've taken, why I've taken it, the fundamentals, technicals, and the risk management associated behind the trade. First things first, this is about $150 million tech stock on the ASX. This is the bottom end of the tech space. Not that we have too many tech stocks on the ASX, but there's going to be a particular reason that we'll cover as to why I'm interested in the tech space at the moment. So, what kind of tech stock is this? I don't know. What does Appen do? They could sell software, they could sell muffins, I really don't know what they do. Don't ask me, I don't care. It's a tech stock. That's all that I really need to know. So, why does this matter? Let's take a look at this move from early February through to mid of March. The QQQs, look at the move from around end of January through to mid of March. And if we zoom out, it's at all-time high territory. Now the QQQs is a tech index in the US. It's by far the largest one, and it by no means dictates what Appen does, but it does have an influence. The reason is that this is the largest tech index, and rising tides lift all boats. Therefore, when the QQQs are strong, it's very likely that Appen, once it's bottomed out and stopped moving from its fundamental reasons, as you can see, it's been quite heavily sold off. Now it's bottomed out. We're having a nice move on the QQQs as it has an influence on the tech space in Australia. And most importantly is yesterday's price action on the Qs breaking out into all-time highs again. And the reason for this is the inflation data came out in the US. So it came out really nice. Honestly, I don't know what the numbers are. I don't care because this is what I care about. Right there. That breakout on the upside. The tech index is pumping. So Appen finally recovering. And from a technical perspective, every man and his dog can see this trend line. Now, I don't really care about trend lines. If you guys follow my content, intraday trend lines, yeah, so. The daily charts perhaps a little more significant, but as a day trader, I don't really care about trend lines. But swing trading, it's perhaps a little bit more relevant. You guys will always see pivots on my chart because pivots to me dictate higher highs, lower lows, higher highs, etc. So pivots to me are crucial to swing trading. What we're going to take a look at is this move here and the ideal breakout to the upside. But it's the pivot that I want to show you guys because we now just formed a higher high. Why is this significant? Well, we're changing our direction in momentum. We've got a high here, we've got a high here, we've got a high here, and of course this long red line that I just drew, that is stopping this from happening, right? We're no longer creating lower highs. We've now broken above the lower high. This must mean that at any point after today must be a higher high. So we've now shifted to trying to make a higher high and hopefully a higher low. That is the next thing that we're looking for. So if this stock breaks out, it's possible that it could just swing to the upside, but this is kind of what I want to see: a breakout, a retest of a key pivot point, and a rally. So that's what I'm looking for: a move up, some sort of pullback, and hopefully a retest of at least 87. So from a technical perspective, this is a fantastic start on rising volume. The good thing is, as we can see intraday as well, it just opened up strong. Didn't even really gap up. I think it was maybe a one tick gap up. And then really strong volumes to push it, because anyone with a clue would have seen the price action in the US overnight, saw no gap up on APX as a tech stock, and just absolutely smashed the buy button. Beautiful. Now, our add-on for this trade was as it broke this 64.5 pivot. Because we now have 65, 65.5, and it's trending to the upside, which is perfect, exactly what we want to see. Volumes are rising as well, as I mentioned, and it's just all looking quite dandy. Now, my stop is going to be perhaps a little bit wider than you'd expect. My stop will be below the breakout candle itself. So it will be here at 61, which is going to be a tick below the lows of today. So you guys might be familiar with my trading is going to be a little bit more tighter normally, perhaps something like this, maybe 63. But I want to give this one a little bit more room. Now this is all hindering on tomorrow's price action, right? So we're going to see tonight in the US whether this continues to the upside, whether there's some sort of gap up and absolute mauling to the downside. It really depends on what this candle does to influence Appen for tomorrow. If it's going to be a strong green candle, we could expect perhaps a little bit of sideways action, or perhaps just a trickle to the upside. I wouldn't expect a massive green candle to appear to like 74 or anything like that. Nothing crazy. Again, can't predict everything, but I expect this to just be a steady trade to the upside. First target is going to be this 87. It's just going to be below this 90-cent level, which was the previous high. Going to look somewhere around 87, 87 to 90 as take profit a little bit. And I'm not going to be too fussed about this pivot point here, which is the previous high. It's a rather insignificant one. I do expect some traders will take a look at this pivot point and may consider just closing profit for just like 10 cents. And that's fine. Let them do what they do. It'll probably pull back, most likely intraday. When a candle hits it, it might pull back and then just carry on normal the next few days. Or it might break out, retest, and then carry on. Or hit it, pull back a couple of days, and rally and break through. So there's a variety of ways that this resistance can act. And that's why I'm not overly interested in this stock just hitting this level and tanking. If we see really strong sell, something like this happen, where it just collapses and retests this trend line, it's going to cause a lot of stagnation at an absolute bare minimum on Appen, in my opinion. So, it could end up with just a complete tank, get stopped out, and then it might just chill for a little bit if something like that happens. So a lot of this trade does hinge on the whole idea of rising tides lifts all boats. And that's the idea behind this trade, is to really pay attention to the QQQs. Does it pull back a little bit? Fine, that's okay, perfectly normal. Just look at what's happened. Every time it's rallied, broken out, it comes back a little bit. Eventually, it just trends to the upside. So I'm not concerned about small red candles or, candles like this where it just has an inside day or something like that. I really am just concerned about candles like this, strong sell candles, bearish engulfing, those kinds of really strong signals of selling. Something like this, where we have a green candle and then just complete sell through. So it's that kind of stuff that would have me really considering exiting early for Appen. But otherwise, with all things considered, looking for, again, key profit target here is going to be of interest to me. So taking this from around 65 through to 87 is going to be a nice little swing trade. And hopefully I've just broken down everything to do with risk management there and the potentials of this trade. Again, it really does hinge on what happens tomorrow, whether this breakout continues or not. So do pay attention to the QQQs, and hopefully we have a nice little swing trade to the upside, and hopefully we hit at least 87.5. I know there's a couple of guys in Discord that are targeting $1.50 for Appen, but they are more longer term or mid-term traders. They're kind of looking at around $1.50. I could totally see this in a few months' time. I could absolutely see this trending to the upside, perhaps by like September or something like that, maybe a month earlier, maybe like August. But, we'll see. I'm just looking at the short-term swing. I just want the big power move to the upside, take profits. And if it swings back down to this level here, so a break, a swing back down for a longer move, then absolutely this will be the buy zone once I close out the position at the key profit target. This is all very much if X, then Y situation. So for anyone that's considering a longer move, then that's definitely a scenario I'd be considering in the future if all things go to plan. Alright guys, have a good one.